Hello and welcome back to the Aviation with Chris YouTube channel. It's Chris Patel here, and today we'll be flying with Delta Airlines in first class on the Boeing 737-900, and it's a short hop from Newark Liberty International Airport down to Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson. Enjoy the flight review. Delta Airlines flies out of Terminal A at Newark's Liberty International Airport. At EWR, TA is relatively new compared to B and C. Despite having been around for quite some time, this is actually my first time flying out of the new Terminal A. Terminal A is also used by JetBlue, American Airlines, Air Canada, and for some domestic United flights. There's a dedicated Sky Priority queue for those with elite status or those flying in Delta First. The lines were almost empty, and there was only one other person in front of me. Check-in was quite efficient, and our agent was incredibly friendly. I was then whisked through security and found myself airside shortly after. The TSA lines were not crowded today. The terminal is relatively large and spacious and looks stunning with the high ceilings. Unfortunately, a domestic first-class ticket within the United States will not get you complimentary lounge access. However, Delta Airlines has its own Sky Club here at Newark, which is accessible to members and those with a credit card. The terminal actually offers some pretty good views of the action going on over the ramp. And here it is, November 844 Delta November will be our Boeing 737-900 for today's hop down to Atlanta. The aircraft arrived from Atlanta earlier this afternoon with the same flight number DL2322. First class passengers receive Sky Priority boarding in Zone 1 of 8. However, a queue had already formed by the time it was time for me to board. The 737-900 features 20 first-class recliners arranged in a 2-2 configuration. The seats themselves are quite wide and offer plenty of legroom. These recliners come with a width of 20.9 inches and offer 37 inches of pitch. The headrest is quite plush and sturdy, as is the seat itself, which is well padded out. I'm a huge fan of the blue and red color Delta Airlines opted for with this seat. The overhead bins on this 737 can easily accommodate a carry-on bag, however they're not as big as some others I've seen on Boeing 737 aircraft. Above each seat is an individual reading light, personal air nozzle, and flight attendant call button. The tray table pops out from the inner end of the seat and folds out to extend towards you. In front of the space where the tray table comes out is a side table for beverages. You'll find a bottle of water here waiting for you upon boarding. The seat comes with 2 universal outlets and offers plenty of storage thanks to all of these storage pockets. One of the smaller seat pockets comes with the in-flight literature, while the other is for your personal use, and you can store small items here. This specifically includes a safety card and air sickness bag. The in-flight entertainment system is located in front of you and can be tilted towards you if the person in front reclines. Inserted into the TV screen is a slot for headphones and a USB port. Legroom is quite generous, and there's room for a carry-on under the seat in front of you. The outer end of the seat includes this armrest, and here you'll find the button for seat recline. All in all, a pretty solid seat. Pre-departure beverages were offered on the ground, and you can't go wrong with a ginger ale. Now let's talk about an area where Delta really shines, their in-flight entertainment. Complimentary T-Mobile Wi-Fi was available on this flight for SkyMiles members, and the entertainment system offers a pretty extensive selection of movies and TV shows. There are plenty of genres to choose from as far as entertainment, as well as live TV. However, what I really love Delta for is their Spotify audio collection. Here you can enjoy a variety of curated playlists and mixtapes. You'll also be able to view specific information about Delta Airlines and their hub airports, as well as the aircraft fleet. Basic earbuds were offered on the ground and came in this fun little package celebrating Delta's 100 years of flying.
We are honored that you're with us today as we celebrate our centennial, and we look forward to serving you for another 100 years.
Delta Airlines. The health and safety of our customers and crew is our number one priority and the shared responsibility of everyone on board. So, before we depart, please pay attention to this important message. Stow all carry-on items in an overhead bin and place smaller items completely under the seat in front of you.
Larger electronic devices must be placed in a bag. Handheld portable electronic devices.
There are 8 exits on this plane. 4 doors, 2 on each side, and 4 window exits over the wings. The forward doors have detachable slides that can be used for flotation. Life rafts are located in ceiling compartments at the front and center of the plane.
Flight. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
A water evacuation is also unlikely, but just in case. Life vests are in a compartment beneath or adjacent to your seat. To use, remove the vest from its container by pulling on the tab and then opening the pouch. Slip the vest over your head. Wrap the strap around your waist, attach it to the buckle in front, and adjust securely around your waist. As you leave the plane, inflate the vest by pulling down on the red tab at the bottom, or manually inflate it by blowing into the tube at shoulder level. A water-activated light is attached to each vest. For children under 35 pounds, place the vest around their waist and secure the strap between the legs.
And from all of our crew, thank you for flying with Delta.
The flight time to Atlanta today would be just 1 hour and 52 minutes. Although these first-class seats have been around for almost a decade now, they're still quite great, but slightly subpar to the first-class seats on the A321neo. Since today's flight was under 900 miles, no proper meal service was offered in first class. Instead, the snack basket was passed through the aisle once we hit cruising altitude. The selection includes a variety of sweet and savory snacks. Drinks were also offered, however, I already had water at my seat from boarding. There is one lavatory located in first class, and it's found at the front of the cabin. On the 737, it's a relatively tight squeeze, however, you'll still find fragrant Grown Alchemist skincare products, as well as a somewhat spacious toilet. Pretty much the entire rest of the flight was uneventful, and I spent time listening to music on Delta's Spotify collection, as well as looking out the window at the passing scenery. Overall, I have to say that Delta service in first class is quite impressive with a friendly and attentive crew. Our dedicated flight attendant was through the cabin on a regular basis to check on passengers and offer extra beverages. The ground experience was smooth with Sky Priority benefits, and I really like this Delta first class seat. It's quite wide and roomy, and offers plenty of space for you to stretch out. I wish that a more substantial meal service was offered on today's flight, as opposed to just snacks. I mean, there are plenty of international carriers out there who offer proper meal services on flights just under 2 hours, so if they can do it, why can't Delta? Of course, the amenities offered in U.S. domestic first class pale behind compared to the short-haul premium cabins offered by many other international airlines, considering that you won't get lounge access and basic earbuds are provided. Unfortunately, no blanket was offered or pillow. Delta's in-flight entertainment system, however, always blows me away and has a really impressive selection of movies, TV shows, and music options. So now let's jump to the question, is Delta Airlines domestic first class worth it? Well, if you value perks such as priority check-in and boarding, as well as a more spacious and roomy seat, then this might be a good choice. However, the food and drink offered in main cabin on this route is similar to what's seen in Delta First, with a variety of snacks and beverages. Now let's talk price. Booking a one-way first-class flight from Newark to Atlanta on Delta Airlines costs somewhere around $400 at the starting price. Note that the cost can vary based on the time of day and also depends on the origin and destination. Delta Airlines also charges about 8,500 Sky Miles for this one-way redemption, plus $6 in taxes and fees. If you have the Platinum card from American Express, you'll easily be able to earn several American Express membership rewards points through basic purchases. Why is this worth mentioning? Well, it's because Amex points transfer directly to Delta Sky Miles at a 1-to-1 ratio. Since Delta Airlines uses a dynamic pricing model, it might be difficult to get a good value for your first-class redemption. However, if you have flexible travel dates on off-peak days, then it might be easier to get a better value, considering that Delta will often charge less on those dates. Atlanta is Delta's headquarters, with ATL being their largest hub. The airline occupies every concourse here on the terminal. Today's flight will be arriving in Concourse C, which plays house to many domestic flights here at Atlanta.
So do I. That's why I'm walking.
Wheelchair coming around the corner.
Thanks for watching and sticking around until the very end. And please be sure to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, or if you enjoy travel content like this. I've linked our Instagram in the description below, and you can follow us there as well. But for now, fasten your seatbelts as we have lots more exciting content coming your way, and I can't wait to share all of it with you.